Hello everyone, this is Aya from Hinawi Software. As you can see here in front of me, I have Hinawi Software desktop application opened. First of all, before I go into this, as you can see here, I'm logged in from the admin account. This is very crucial and important, especially for today's topic, because it's very sensitive and it has so many different consequences and effects on the software and other aspects as well for the users. So the topic for today is going to be about the reminders list, the reminders settings, the list, how it works, the pop-up messages which will appear on the screen, everything regarding the reminder, basically, whether we're talking about emails or SMS. Therefore, I'm logged in from the admin account because majority of the work you will be seeing is in the file menu, where we will see this further in depth, and there is also in the CRM menu. We will also go through that. So let's first get into this and let's talk about the file menu first. When we go to the company setup, this is the first step which you must make sure that it's there in order to proceed accurately. So first you go to the file menu, then you go to the company setup, and then you go to company information and taxes. After that, as you can see here, this window will open for us. From here we can enter the main information about the company, which includes also the email field. You see here in the email field, always make sure you put the main email of the company or the CEO, the main person which will be in charge of the company, the person which will be the owner, the CEO, the admin, the person who's in charge basically, or the company's email itself if there is any. So you put them here in this field. There's another field here for email 1. It's recommended to write all your emails, all emails required in this field with comma between them. So make sure you do that and you write this, you fill this completely. That's the first step. So step number 1, regarding any reminder list, regarding anything which will has an email included within it, is to go to the company setup and write the emails here. So in the same menu, which is the file menu, as you can see here, we will also have different types of forms and different types of locations or places which must be checked regarding the reminder list. One of which is here, the reminders list itself. So again, we go to the file menu and then we go to reminders list. Here we will have all modules displayed in front of us. So basically reminders regarding each and every module of the software. In order to deliver the image accurately and very, very clearly, we will focus on the Hrms reminders. So of course there are CRM reminders, which you will also be seeing in the CRM menu. However, in this video, in order to, for the sake of clear delivery of the information, I will be talking about the Hrms reminders specifically. So those are the main points or the main types of reminders which are included in the Hrms module reminders. We will see how they work in a few minutes, but first let's go through them. Let's scroll through them. We have the general reminders, we have the test period. What we mean here by test period is employees who are not pretty much 100% standard employees yet. They are still in their test period, which can range from 1 to 2 weeks to 1 month, depending on the company policy. Of course, the user has control of this, has control of the number of days or the number of weeks regarding this test period. So this is what test period means. It means what are the current employees who are under the category of being in a test period. We also have the custom field. Custom field is very general. Custom field includes a lot of reminders can range in different topics and aspects. We also have the passport to be returned. So this is used for companies in which passport can be with the employee or with the company, either ways. We also have the employee transfer, if there are any transfers in employees, regarding also the leaves, which is a type of activity which is included in the Hrms module. So as you can see in the Hrms and as you can see in other videos, we have so many different types of activities in the Hrms. It could be leaves, absences, loans, end of service, additions, deductions, all these types of activities. One of them is the leave. So leave return is when an employee returns from his or her leave. It could also have many types. For example, annual leave, sick leave, leave without pay, Hajj leave, maternity leave, so many different types of leaves. So this is the reminder specifically for returning from the leave. You can see it from here. Also regarding benefits. So as you can see, we have benefits, we have expenses, we have different types, benefits provided, benefits payment, all these are mentioned in the software, and we have reminders regarding this. Also the missing documents. This is very crucial as well, because in the missing documents you will be seeing the employee names which are missing important information, such as emails. So any employee who is missing an email, basically you can see from the missing documents. And all emails for all employees are recommended to be filled in the missing documents. Not only emails, also names in Arabic. So when you open the software in the Arabic side, you will be seeing their names clearly. So any employee who is missing their names in Arabic, any employee who is missing a profile picture, because as you know, we have different formats of viewing information about employees. It could be employee list, employee profile, employee center, a lot of different forms for employee information. So from there we can fill, or we can add the profile picture of each employee. So from the missing documents you will be seeing anything related to employees which is important but currently missing. We also have any activities to be approved. So this is a reminder for users which will be informing them about any activity, as we have mentioned earlier, any activity which is still not yet approved and is required and recommended to be approved. So this is also very important. Also regarding the family documents expiry. So anything regarding expiry is also there. We will also be covering the expired documents, where you can see the expired documents and how you can fill them and how you can make sure it's accurate. But for now, let's focus on the reminders list of this. So for example, if we say, let's click on the missing documents. As you can see here, we have the option to choose what company we're talking about. This will depend whether there is one, multiple, or more companies on the system, on this file, and each one of course contains its own employees. So this is also one of the features which must be known at the moment, is that the Hinawi Software ERP system allows multi-company files or multi-company companies to be added here in the list. So this is a very important feature, and whenever we click a different company name, another list will appear regarding that exact company which has been selected. As you can see here, we have this filtering by option which will allow us to choose what are we looking for. Are we filtering missing documents by specific information, such as the labor card, the passport, like any employee who's missing their residence, the passport, the company contract, the national ID. So we can from here choose whether we want filtering to be specific, okay, or are we looking for other documents. So these are the documents which are missing. And when we click on view, as you can see here, it will load a little bit and then it will show us all employee names who are missing this. And here it will show us what document is currently missing. So these are the documents which can be missing for employees. And when you double click on any employee, it will instantly open for you this window where you can fill those information regarding the labor card, the residence, the passport, everything regarding this employee that has been selected. And from here you can have those two checklists. So this is a feature which is in the software. But let's talk about how this will be affecting the software basically when you open it, like at the moment of logging in, whether we are talking about admin or any other user. When you log into the software, how can you basically view this? How can you know those reminder lists are there? Basically from the pop-up messages which will show instantly. Of course, like most of you noticed that when you log into Hinawi Software, sometimes you will be having so many different pop-up messages on the screen, one after the other. So when you open so many different pop-up messages, when you see those messages, basically everything is from here. When you click on don't show again, they will not pop up anymore. So when you log into the software, it will instantly display the main page, the home page, the current page of the software without mentioning anything about the reminders list. However, if you do not select this option, if you will remove this checklist and directly see, keep it showing, in this case, anything in this list, anything in this category for like test period, if we're talking about test period, anything will be displayed next time you open the software. So we can set whatever company we want, and the next time we log into the software, it will display all the items which will be set and displayed here. Not only for the test period, as I said, we can choose this for any category. This is regarding the Hrms. So that's the next top feature which we have, which is the pop-up messages, which will instantly display when you log into the software. Of course, this doesn't only apply to the Hrms, as I said. It is applicable in the real estate, in the fixed assets, in the accounting, in the CRM, everything, which will also include the calendar. Look here, we have this calendar. Basically, this is the Hinawi Software calendar. From here, you can set the priority of the point you're talking about, and you can set the task type. You can view here the different dates which we have. You can scroll through next or previous. You can view here the month view or the week view, whatever you want. You can add a reminder from here. As you can see, this will open the general reminder for us. We will be selecting the date and the time. Remind me on what is the type of this reminder. So basically, we choose whether it's public or private. And also we can here select the type, whether it's customer, vendor, prospective, sales representative. The type we can set here, whether we're talking about, look here, this is a very important point as well. This message will be displaying that please enter the email addresses for the user from the file, and then from the setting, and then from the user access list and then from edit user. We will be seeing this in a few minutes because this also has to do with reminding and reminders in general. So here we will choose what user we want to share this with and to other users, and then we save and close. So by the way, you have to also set here that it must be reminded before a specific number of days. And also there is a checklist here if we want to also send an SMS, not just an email. So this is an important point. You should keep in mind that there is, in the general reminder, there is this option of receiving an SMS or an email before a specific number of days. So this is also very, very important. Now let's go to user access list, which is also from the file menu. See here, everything I'm talking about now is in the file menu. So basically from the file menu, you can set everything regarding this reminders. We go to the file menu and then we go to company setup. And from here, you will notice the user list and access settings. You click on that and then a window will pop up in front of you, which will contain all the users registered on the software. There is another video I recommend watching in order to understand how each user can be can have their permission set up and edited and everything. But in this video, I'll be talking about basically editing the user. So from here, as you can see here, it will display for us this window where we set their username, the employee name, which is linked with it. So this is very important. Basically, we're saying here that this user is linked with this employee. So as if we're telling the system that those two are linked together. This user and this employee are the same, along with the number of the employee and the password and everything. One of those fields you see here, you will be noticing, is the email. This is what the message a few minutes ago displayed for us, the email. Here we have to say what is the email for this specific user we have selected. So always make sure that you fill this email. Always make sure this email is filled. So basically, the main concept of this is that anywhere you see email in the system, it must be filled, whether we're talking about the company email or employee emails and user emails. And here we will be mentioning which companies can this user access. So in their file, when they log into their profile or they log into their account on Hinawi Software, what are the different files or different companies in which they will be accessing and viewing and editing and everything. So here we will select those companies and then we can click on save, where it gets saved successfully. So this is regarding the user list. Always make sure that the user list and the user access list has the email filled in it. So this is a very important point as well. Always make sure that the reminders list in the HR reminders list is activated, and also always make sure that in the company setup where the company information and taxes has the company email or any other email activated and entered, and always make sure that in the user list and access settings also it is there and activated and mentioned. So this is also very, very important. As you can see here also in the file menu, we have in the setup general requirements, we have the auto reminder settings, and we also have the SMS settings. So those two are very, very important. Let's see here in the auto reminder settings first. As you can see here in front of us in the auto reminder settings, we have those three tabs. First one is the missing data information. Second one is the expiry reminder, whether we're talking about the fixed asset module, the real estate, the Hrms. As I said, we will focus on this video on the Hrms module only, but you can explore and go through the other modules on your own if you feel that you need to practically apply it as well. And the third tab is the reports, of course, the reports. So how are we going to use this? Let's see in the first tab, in the missing data information. Here we will enter the name of the computer which we want to send the user activity report to, which will already be grayed out because it's reading automatically what is that device or the name of the computer. Here we will be scheduling it, whether we want it to be sent weekly or daily. And here we say whether, for example, we want a specific timing to be displayed regarding this scheduling. Here we select the weekdays which we want to be scheduled. So we can select Saturday, Sunday, whatever weekday which we want. Notice here that when we click on daily, this will automatically be grayed out, since it will automatically know that it will be sending every day. Notice here also at the top we have this send automatic generated email to company provider email. And what is that company provider email? Basically, it's the email we have mentioned and written in the company information when we went to file company setup, and then we went to company information. So that is the company provider email. Notice here those are the different forms which we have. In the HRMS module, for example, if we're talking about missing employee photo, here we set the reminder, and on this icon we can insert more or delete a line, because when we fill this line we can insert that missing employee photo will be connected or linked with which employees, which emails, which names we're talking about. So whenever you add a new line, there will be another line underneath it. So first, let's fill this existing row. The system informs us that how are you going to add a new row if you're not filling the previous one. So let's fill here that in the missing employee photo, we will be, for example, let's say employee 123. This is the employee which we want. And as you can see here, it says that there is no email ID existing for the selected name. How is the system basically reading this? How is it knowing that there is no email? From the user access list, which I have shown you. From there, when we link the employee name along with the user, we must fill the email. This is where it comes from. This is where it's really important to fill that email, because here the employee will be reading. Does this employee does it have an email? Does he or she have an email or not? So here we will be selecting the employee. We will be adding the emails. We will be also checking here whether this form will be also sending to the company, not just the employee email, also to the company and also to any related names. So this is how we use this regarding the HRMS module and the missing employee photo or any other type here we want. So always make sure on a daily basis or a weekly basis you want to schedule this. If you are scheduling it daily, this will be grayed out. If you're scheduling this weekly, you will be selecting the days of the weeks which is recommended to be sent. Same thing applies to the expiry reminder in the HRMS module. So here, as you see here, that once we set this reminder, the system will automatically send an email to those assigned names which we will be adding in this column 30 days before the expiry date. So this is important, and will be sending automatic emails instantly 30 days before. So if we're talking about the passport, for example, we want to set a reminder for this passport. Here we select the time. Here we will add the names, their emails, and whether we also want to send to the company or not. I recommend that this column regarding sending to company is always checked. So this is really important. And also regarding the reports, here you will be mentioning if those specific reports which are for AMCs, job in progress, any quotation status, any customer balance summary or expiry, if they are to be sent to the email of specific employee names and to the company as well. So from here we can do this, and by default an automatic email will be sent and generated to the company provider email. So company provider email will also be having a copy of those. The SMS, we have successfully finished talking about basically the email. So let's proceed forwards and let's go to the SMS. First you go to the file menu, then you go to the setup general requirements, and then you go to the SMS settings. You click on that, And here you select whether SMS is required or not. So this checklist must be ticked as yes in case you want SMS settings to be activated. Here we fill the username and the password of basically the sender and the sender ID. If we want here, we can add this. And those are the activities which can have an SMS sent to them. Notice here that we have to double click on any of these activities in order to configure the message. So if we're talking about, let's say here in the Hrms documents reminder, if we double click on that, here we can set the text, we can write the text we want, and then here we will be setting the mode. Do we want it before a specific number of days, or at the time of saving, or after, or on the same day? So here, let's say before, and then we click here, we choose the number of days which we want. So before 3 days. And here, as I said, we have written the text which we want. Here on the right side, as you can see, we have to double click to add the fields we want to include in the message. So do we want to include the employee number? Do you want to include the employee name? Do you want to include document? Notice here, every time I double click on this, it gets displayed here on the screen. So every time a person receives an SMS, it will automatically read the document name and the employee name. So we can do this in a paragraph-like format. So let's say hello, for example, and then double click on the employee number, or let's say employee name. So when we do this, it will automatically be reading that hello and then the name of the employee, which is very actually smart to do that, a very smart feature. We can also select whatever database fields we want. It will automatically, as I said, will read from the database. And here we will be selecting the employee name. So in this place right here, in this part of the screen, there will be a copy of the SMS sent to other employees. So what are or who are these employees which will be receiving a copy? We do that, and then here we mention the mobile number. We can add as much employees we want along with the mobile number. So that is also a very important feature which we have on Hinawi Software. And then we click on Save easily. We have to also make sure, look here, whenever you click on Save, the SMS required will be ticked, and the mode will be there, and the number of days will also be displayed and mentioned in front of us. So that is regarding that. And here it says that the message or the mode has been changed. Do you want to save before closing? We can set whether yes or no. So basically this is regarding the SMS settings, and this is regarding the automatic reminder settings of the emails. As I said, you will also be seeing many other parts of the reminders which will be included in the CRM. So basically in the CRM we will be seeing here a part to send general SMS, or if we want to send an email, or if we want to receive everything basically regarding the CRM and regarding the general reminder we have seen, and the SMS and email notification, and scheduling and SMS and email notification. It's all included here. But the main concern is the Hrms reminders, which we have covered. You can see the other parts or the other modules regarding scheduling, whether we're talking about an email or an SMS sending. So that is the main topic for today. I hope it was clear and easy. Please make sure to check out our other videos, and make sure you subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share it with everyone interested, and watch our other videos. Thank you.
Your call is very important to us.